Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Never Too Late Project. Um, who doesn't know me, we haven't seen my previous videos. My name is Fabio, I'm 47 years old. I've been working in a corporate company, manufacturing for about 25 years. Um, the purpose of my journey is to actually discuss about my feelings, my thoughts, and my emotions with you guys, and sharing that with you guys, and hopefully people feel the same way and they are stuck with a job 9 to 5 for a long time and having potential to do something different in their life and get the freedom to do a lot of things that they enjoy, and not depending from no paycheck and no nothing. And just even if you work hard, if you work more, but you be happy, that's the most important thing. So obviously get the freedom, that's priority. We're gonna tonight's video, it's we're gonna share some clips from an interview of Kevin O'Leary, known from Shark Tank. Very successful entrepreneur, very smart guy. I love the way he thinks. I love the way he explains stuff. I love the way he's direct, and you can tell from his confidence that he's been very successful. He knows what he's talking about. I love to watch those kind of videos because, and I love to discuss that also because they just make me think that coming from nothing, you can actually be so much, you can have so much success. But at the same time, in this case, he started the pro pretty young, so he found his way in very early, and obviously college degree, masters, business and stuff like that. So, but yeah, let's play this, and we're gonna discuss and gonna share some thoughts.
I want to pivot a little bit and talk about how money has or has not changed you.
Sure. My first lesson, which is encrypted in my DNA now, was the idea of working for pay. And my first job was in high school. And I got it specifically because there was a girl in my grade that I was really interested in, and she got a job at the shoe store in the mall. And I was able to get a job across in the ice cream parlor. And my plan was, when the mall closed down, we could go out, and hang out together, which was a good plan. And so I told her, look, I got a job across the way. And my first day on the job, I'll never forget it. She was in the window putting in the shoes there. It's a small mall. And I was in this ice cream store scooping ice cream. And when people, my first day, it was owned by a woman, I'll never forget it. She says, look, when people ask you for a sampler, here's a little wooden spoon, give them a little sample. But what happens when that occurs, when people do samples, they take their gum out of their mouth and they throw it on the floor. So all day long, gum was piling up on the floor, Mexican tiles in this place. So the first day is over, and she said, you did a great job. You sold $4,000 of ice cream, whatever it was. But now you've got to finish up and you've got to take all the gum off the floor. Now, at that moment, the girl I was interested in was looking at me, waiting to see when I was going to walk out of the store. And I realized if I get down on my knees and scrape gum, I'm in trouble here. This is not a good look. I said to her, look, you hired me as a scooper, not a scraper. And she said, no, I hired you as an employee. You do whatever I say. I own this store. Whatever I say, you're going to do. And I said, I don't think so. If you want to hire somebody to take gum off the floor, that's a different job. If I'd known that, I probably wouldn't take this position. She said, how about this? You're fired. And I went, whoa, what's that mean? She said, it means you get back on your bicycle, go home, don't come back here. I'll send you for your today's pay. I was so humiliated when I got home and explained that to my mother. She said, you should have done what she asked. And I realized right then, and this is the important lesson, this is one of those pivotal moments. In life, there's two types of people. There's the people that own the store, and there's the people that scrape the shit off the floor. And you have to decide, which one are you? I'm not saying it's bad to be an employee, but she taught me such an important lesson. The humiliation of not controlling your own destiny is evident in that story, because that's the way I read it. I thought, this is horrible. Whatever she says.
So yeah, I mean, he obviously start from very, very young. You know, he actually had the instinct right away to not get at that path. But he's got a great point. It's like you either scrubby the shit or you actually tell somebody to do so. He preferred to not do that, you know. And I'm not saying that anybody, you know, scrub shit from nowhere. But at the same time, if you're thinking about it, you've been told every day what to do and not actually make your own decision far. And I'm not saying anything extreme, far as, you know, make, you know, yourself successful, even making the company successful, but they never approach you and welcome you as a part of the project, a part of like the to be successful, you know. And I feel that way in my case. So, but yeah, let's keep going.
I have to do? I'm not going to live my life that way. I never worked another day in my life for somebody, ever again. Now, decades later, I can afford to bulldoze the whole mall if I want. And I go back there to meet her because I wanted to thank her for that moment for me, that amazing moment where she just reset my whole dial, all my DNA. I just didn't want to scrape stuff off the floor, ever. I wanted to own the store, and I couldn't find her. The store was gone. I hired somebody to find her because I wanted to thank her and help her out for making that moment happen to me. But there's a story that tells you a defining moment for one random person deciding what path they were going to take. Entrepreneurship for me, I've never looked back. You know, I could probably buy a whole bunch of malls now if I wanted.
Yeah.
It's not that important today as it was back then, but that's what happens.
Yeah, and I think that's a great lesson. I often ask my guests, you know, how do you know what you're good at? How do you know where to find your passion? Because, you know, the sort of the default advice is follow your passion, and that may or may not be good advice. But I think the point that you sort of crystallized for me is sometimes you have to do stuff that you don't like doing to figure out what you do like doing.
That's a great point.
That is exactly right. For a long time, I've been asking myself, am I really not good at anything? You know, that can really, you know, make myself successful. I really gotta depend of some equipment or some environment to actually, you know, be good at it. You know, yeah. And I've been asking myself a lot, and then obviously fitness came along, and you know, after like soccer, you know, I got big disappointment when I was younger in age, but that's something I will discuss in future videos. But yes, I mean, that's how it is, you know. And unfortunately, you know, you ask those questions in your head, and yeah, it kind of like bothers me. It does.
That's an absolutely great point, and you want to do that early in your career to understand what motivates you. The perfect situation. I mean, I tell entrepreneurs today, and I invest in so many of them, you know, when I say to them, look, you're starting this journey, I want you to understand something. This is not going to be fun all the time. You're going to work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, because there's some guy in Mumbai or Shanghai that's going to kick your ass if you don't.
And it's forever.
And it's forever. But what will happen if you're successful, and you won't see it coming, you'll wake up one day and say, oh my goodness, I'm wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. You'll probably go right back to work, but the point is you created something of tremendous value, and the way it manifests itself to you later in life is it gives you freedom to do whatever you want. My number one message to entrepreneurs, and I teach today, is never pursue entrepreneurship for the greed of money. It has nothing to do with it at all. The whole reason to be an entrepreneur is the pursuit of freedom. That's why you do it. You do it because you want to be free one day to do whatever you like. I'm here because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I don't even have to ever listen to a phone call again if I don't want to. That's not what I want to do. I enjoy spending my time.
Rest my case, right? It's not about the money. It's about the freedom. Not say discussion. You think you're free, but you are technically not. You're not in jail, but it feels the way. Obviously, I've never been in one, and I never plan to go anyway. So, but I'm just saying, The routine that you have every day, it does feel that way because you are present in one only area, which is your close mind. You do the same thing every day, which is at work and obviously at home. And having the family, supporting the family gets busier and busier. But thinking about it, if you have that freedom, you can have play baseball in the backyard with your son. You can go somewhere, with your daughter, your family, on vacation anytime you want. That called freedom, and it's so much healthier because everybody deserves to have the relaxation and the flexibility. But unfortunately, it's not like that. It's not a perfect world. It's tough, but you gotta make it that way. But let's go back.
Enjoy spending my time doing the things that I want to do, and I deserve it because I worked like hell to get here. And so I'm a huge, advocate of capitalism. I defend entrepreneurship every day. When people say you don't deserve that, I say bullshit. I deserve everything because I started with this. Everything I have, I created myself, and I deserve what I have, and I feel ferociously about that. And I tell other entrepreneurs, do not be embarrassed about success. Wear it, own it. It's yours, and you deserve it.
So how has success changed you, if any? Like your personality or your...
There's certain things I really enjoy about, being able to pursue them. For example, photography. I own every single camera that I want, every lens that I want. I work with all the manufacturers to shoot with their cameras now because they want me to. I'm going to Botswana next week on safari. I have some of the most eclectic lenses ever made because the people that made them want me to shoot with them, and I'll sell the work for charity. I achieved what I couldn't do back then, and I'd say to my dad, who's still alive, my stepfather, look at this. And he says, look, this is a passion, it's not a business. I said, but I'm doing it, is the whole point. So that's freedom, that's a wonderful thing, and that's because of what I've achieved. I collect watches, some of the rarest watches in the world, as an asset class. And I get access to them because I've been successful.
Well, so that's lifestyle stuff, but how about personality stuff? Like, has it made you jaded, or has it made you more optimistic? Or talk about how, the emotional side, or the emotional...
Freedom, that's what I'll take you, right? When a lot of people speculate the fact that money can screw you, money can screw with your head. People do maybe drugs and do bad things. Not every person is bad, and unfortunately, a lot of bad people. Sometimes they are in that position, they have a power with money, and they're using them for bad things. In our case, we are not. Like once like I said, get the concept of money. Those money can be invested, be replicated in many things, and obviously at the same time you enjoy your life, you enjoy things that you do, and you are successful. And believe me, it's a big life in front of you. They just stay bright all the time. It's just amazing. They just wake up with a smile on your face and not thinking about that you have to respond to nobody. Let's go back.
Or the emotional risks of wealth, because...
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I mean, one of the biggest challenges, let's go to telling the truth in business, because Shark Tank's a great place to show this as an example. This show's been on it's going to the second decade. We've created
iconic.
Tens of thousands of jobs, we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars, we had phenomenal successes, catastrophic failures, we've had it all. But the point is, when people come out there and you hear an idea, and you've had a lot of experience in that space, perhaps. That's the great thing about Shark Tank. Each one of these investors is a self-made millionaire or billionaire. They've done it themselves. It's not like they were given anything. And so you have to respect that opinion. This is like a venture capital firm on steroids. These are real operators. A lot of VC firms hire a bunch of bean counter MBAs and they try and analyze stuff against the market. That to me, that ain't the real thing. The real thing is one operator to another trying to figure out what the path of least resistance is. That's what Shark Tank is. But you have to make a decision. And I have this fight with Barbara all the time, or Lori. you're listening to the pitch, you know the chances of success are practically zero. They're burning their family's money. Why not tell them the truth? Why not say the idea has no merit, it's bankrupt, it's going to zero? It doesn't mean you're a bad person, it just means the idea is bad. And maybe you want to take this life example that you've learned and try something else. You've made a mistake, that's okay. The sting of failure can be the greatest motivator for an entrepreneur. And Barbara would say, I don't want to hurt their feelings. And I say, well, then you're just going to give them bullshit. You're going to lie to them, and that's disingenuous. You should burn in hell for that, Barbara. You, Lori, all of you. I'm the
And like I said in the past, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid. Just keep going, or don't be embarrassed. Don't care about what people say. You think it's right. You think it will be something you can do. Do it. Just do it. You fail, you're gonna fix. It's like a mechanism. It's a mechanical thing. It's an equipment that you have in your brain. You know where it has to be fixed, and fix the problem and get better, and then making sure to prevent that problem to come back. And the fear to fail shouldn't stop you to keep going. And that's what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going with this. Even I've been failing, but I'm here just discussing this and try to figure it out, and hope that you guys are with me. Let's continue with this.
truth. And everybody says I'm the mean guy. I'm their best friend. I'm the only one telling the truth. And I'm never going to change on that.
No good deed goes unpunished, right?
Well, the point is, in business, it's binary. You either make money or lose it, right? And I say in a startup, if you can't make money within 3 years, it's just a hobby. It's not a business. It's going to go to zero.
So what you're saying is, if we peel back some of these layers of the onion of Mr. Wonderful, I mean, this is at your core. Your intentions are great. You want to save them time and money, blood, sweat, tears. You have this experience, this hindsight, and you want to say, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, today, this is not working. Just cut bait and do something else. And it comes off as kind of being a hard ass or whatever, but at the heart of it, you're really trying to do them a solid.
Well, I want every entrepreneur to be successful, but that's not going to happen. The truth is 8 out of 10 businesses fail in America within 3 years for one singular reason. They're never able to get their customer acquisition costs below the lifetime value. Fancy way of saying they blow their brains out advertising because they can't get traction. They can't get viral. They can't get people to their site or their business in an economic way. And I'd rather deal with that, and I want them to be successful, but the market's a very competitive place. The barriers to entry in today's world economy are practically zero. And so you need a great idea, you need a certain type of motivation, you need a team most often that helps each other and augments the weaknesses or helps mitigate them. And I look at it that way, and I've got 39 portfolio companies, and any one day that phone's going to ring, and it will today sometime, with some euphoric outcome, something amazing happened to one of my companies, and some disaster is happening to another one. That happens every single day. That is the ebb and flow of life as an entrepreneur, and I'm used to it. But if you're just starting off, it's very hard to stomach.
Yeah, and there's a lot of questions I want to ask within that. One of them is this burning question I always think about, which is, are entrepreneurs born, or is it something we can learn? And maybe frame or answer it in the context of, what do you look for?
Yeah, I wish I had a father like that, right? Or I'm not saying I have a bad father. God bless him. No, I wish I had a uncle, like somebody in the family that actually would have told me, you are doing this wrong, you are doing that wrong. Unfortunately, it's not like that, and I have nobody next to me to tell me that. And that's why I gotta figure it out by myself. But he's right though. You gotta go around the right people. If you get the right team behind you, and at least a couple people that actually understand you, what you want for, and you are serious about it, that would be a grateful, and also would be way much easier to figure out what's your path, what do you want to do, and at least you get some clarification of things that you don't know and you have to study it. Well, I wish it's just a key to open the door,
When someone goes on Shark Tank, are you looking at that individual, their personality, or the way they present, and how are you sort of judging them aside from the numbers? Let's talk about maybe the more touchy-feely or emotional intelligence side of things.
I'm going to answer that by telling you a story from decades ago, and I think you'll understand the analogy. When I was in my final months of getting my business master's, my MBA, in that class of maybe 160 cohort, that was at that size, we thought we were such hot shit. I mean, you're finishing and you know everything and you're ready to go and just take on the world. And in comes this guy and he says, he looks up, he was a guest lecturer. But usually a guest lecturer, gets some slides up or starts talking about a presentation about the company they work for. He was different. He walked in, no slides, no PowerPoint, nothing. He just walked around and looked at all of us and he said, "You guys think you're so damn good, don't you? Well, when you walk out of here, the real world is going to kick the living shit out of you and you won't know what hit you. It'll be brutal. About a third of you will be a complete failure. Another third will be spinning their wheels a decade from now, and the other third will be phenomenal successes. Too bad about the other two."
Let's talk about more the people that actually got to show and what the expectations are from them, on the ideas. But we are at the end of this video. I hope showing this, it's kind of give you some ideas and some motivation to get out from any situation that you had that you're not happy about. Watch stuff like this, I think watching stuff like this, I think it's helping mentally and make you understand really where power and freedom comes from and how to get it, but obviously then I clearly tell you that's the way you got to do it, and give you a vision, and you just gotta put a puzzle together to try to make the best out of it. Well, I hope you guys like the video. Please push the like button, subscribe if you want, if it would be even better, and I appreciate it. I hope you guys see you soon. I will talk about a little more about myself, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.